go. All righty, Capricorn, welcome to your August reading, post-Lionsgate. So let me just get situated here. Oh, I put that right in the... All right. My new microphone. Right. Sorry, just getting situated here. So, Capricorn. So in the 12 zodiac system, I am a Capricorn sun. I was born on Christmas Day. Let's see what's coming for Capricorns. I'm just looking around because I'm getting my center. Just had a busy day with my kids and just put them to bed, and now I'm here with you. So let's get and I've been doing things a little bit differently than the last 2 months because I know this channel is really new. I'm taking this deck, Magdalene Oracle, and pulling an overall energy card. And so it's going to give us kind of the overall message, or the overall the overall energy of what you're going to be experiencing for the next 4 to 6 weeks, okay? So give me an overall energy card for Capricorn in their highest good for the next 4 to 6 weeks, please. Beautiful. Well, Capricorn, the Lovers, okay? That is your overall energy card. I'm not going to read into it yet because I feel like we want to get the story grid going. And so now I'm going to take this beautiful deck and we'll start the story grid, the 9-card grid, okay? And I feel like next time I'm going to start with the center card and kind of let things emanate out, but I'm not going to do that this month. I'm just thinking aloud, Cap. Just thinking aloud. So let's see, the Lovers. Lots of reds, oranges, and blues. Those are very connected as we heal the sacral and the root. You know, we're giving a lot to Gaia right now. Gaia is facilitating a clearing for us, where we're giving her a lot of our fear. A lot of our raw fear is going down into Gaia, and she is using that raw material to create new life on the planet Earth. So because she is a master alchemist. I mean, seriously. Of course she is. And the throat chakra, I mean, for women especially, the womb space, right, the womb space is very powerful. And speaking our truth, it is, and of course, all the chakras are balancing and connected, but it's for women, especially divine feminine, regardless of the package, male bodies have a sacral, obviously somebody said once that they have a womb space. Take what you want from that. I don't know for sure. Intuitively, if you are embodying divine feminine over divine masculine, then I would say, yes, you absolutely have a womb space, no matter what your physical body is that you chose. Okay. But our womb space is where we create. And so when we tap into that masculine to share what we've created with the world, it connects to the throat, obviously. And the throat chakra engages even when we're writing, when we're sharing through the written word, in any form, right? So I'm going to start the grid. Let's get the early, mid, and late. And this is going to be, the portal. This is late on the 11th of August as I'm doing this. The portal officially closes tomorrow. Sometime tomorrow. I do not know the exact time. And the Lionsgate portal, in case you were wondering. If you didn't know about the Lionsgate portal, whew, goodness gracious. For me personally, it was a huge digestive system upgrade. Huge. I was miserable and grateful at the same time, right? So anyway, okay, so we are doing post Lionsgate up and into mid-September. Okay, so it's not necessarily, I guess it's not specifically an August reading, but I don't know. For the rest of this year, it's going to be kind of, the universe does not abide by our calendars. How dare it, right? So, okay, let's start your grid early, mid, late. Let's get the first 3 cards. Oh, they're wanting me to do just going to do it. Oh, I love it. Okay, so I got the first 6 because that is what I was guided to do. Oh, we are really going to. Couple repeats. Oh, man, I am seeing 1, 2, 3, 4. Seriously, 4 of these are showing up in a lot of other signs. So this is really cool. So your first one is number 4, building new foundations, shapeshifter, transformation, primal wisdom, instinct. Capricorns have a tendency to be very present in the mental energy body, right? I know you're nodding right now. It is time for you to get in touch with your raw primal selves. Okay, this is your first card. So at the, after this is the overall energy, which we'll see how it ties in, right? Or we'll see, how the story explains this. Like, that's why I'm like, explain yourself, universe. Because as I'm looking, I'm not seeing a lot of, like, I'm not feeling like right away when I pulled it, I thought, it's not quite divine counterpart energy. But we'll get there. Not that you don't have one. I'm not saying you don't have one, but this is more, well, we'll get there. Okay. So this is your first card. Okay. So then we're going up this first row, and I guess it's a column. 34 breaks down to 7, which is very strong guides, very present with you, learning to trust your own intuition. The green man, initiative, fertilization, action. So very divine masculine. I consider him one of the kings in this deck. If I kind of think of it as a tarot, even though it is an oracle deck, but he's a king and there's a queen. He has a queen counterpart. And so he is definitely a very divine masculine energy, the green man. Okay. And so he's talking about, it's almost like more raw primal, like here's the feminine, this owl lady, right? And here's the masculine. It's all about the primal and the raw and the getting down and dirty. Ooh. All right. Getting back to roots. A little plant joke. But just getting back to the basics and not allowing all this extra stuff to live up here. Okay. Capricorn, it's hard, speaking as a sun sign Capricorn, it is very hard to clear the mental mind sometimes because our mental mind likes to be in charge because we're very organized. We're the bosses, right? We're the leaders. And I never did resonate with that until recently. And now I resonate a lot more with being a Sagittarius in the 13 zodiac system. But, you're going to bleed over, right? Because it's the very next sign. And so you could resonate with both for a while. We're in this transition phase, right? And we may ever adopt the 13, system. I don't know. But all I know is right now it feels right to me to at least put it out there for anybody who's really resonating with it. So anyway, Capricorn, what you're doing is you're getting out of your mental mind and you're really cultivating kind of a more wild you. Okay. So look at this. You got the green, and he has a counterpart, and it's not the green woman, but look at this, the green witch. She is not the counterpart. She looks just like his counterpart, looks just like him, but in feminine form. But it's interesting because she's also a 7, 7, 7. So it is almost like the counterparts are coming out in a different way. And I do feel like the masculine, there's a reason for that, right? The masculine is, the mental energy body is a very masculine energy body, whereas the emotional is feminine, the spiritual would be feminine, the physical would be a masculine because the physical is movement, is action, and that's masculine energy. And so I do feel like this, I do feel like there's just a little more work that is going to be going into the masculine than what needs to go into the feminine right now, or what you're being called to do in the feminine right now. Because she seems a lot more clear, right? He's kind of, it's like hard to see the being in there, right? It's kind of, it's confusion. It's a little bit of confusion. So we're going to clarify that. But she seems very clear. She's coming through very clear. Redheads always come through to me as just a very powerful soul, very, very powerful spirit. Nothing against other colors. Obviously, I'm not a redhead. And so I'm not bashing any other, brunettes or blondes or black hair, but that's just what I'm getting with the redheads as it comes through as powerful. Okay. So your divine feminine, and this is towards the end of this time period. So it's going to be into September. Okay. Is where you're going to really tune into this kind of powerful feminine that is you. Okay. And so going back down, I'm going to clarify or expand on the shapeshifter, which again, number 4 is creating new foundations. As we've allowed old foundations to crumble away, we're now creating new stability for ourselves, right? And trusting that it doesn't have to look like the old, right? It doesn't have to be a concrete slab. It can be, it doesn't have to look like anything. We just have to trust that it's there. And so you got number 20, which breaks down to 2, which is, your connection to yourself. It's more, seriously, it's more, 7. You've got 2 7s coming through. You also have 2 3s, but we'll get there. The 2 7s, like I said, 7 comes through as you starting to trust your own intuition. The 2 then is you truly connecting to that, to your higher self, to your highest self, and making it part of your life where you're connected with that. And actually, yeah, because this was coming through for other signs too, or one other sign at least. What you're doing is integrating your higher self, the higher self that you have right now. In this moment, you are in the process of integrating and kind of clicking up into place where you become that higher self. Okay. And what happens then is that next higher self appears then. We have access to that next higher self, okay? We're going to have a higher self until we're one with source again. That's just the way it works because we have a next self, right? Every step. And so, and that next self is always turning around and helping the previous self, okay? But this is 20, again, 2, unseelie queen, glamour, opulence, hubris. So I feel like there's a lot of vanity that is going on, but it's not vanity in a sense of like ego, like, oh, you're so vain and you think you're all that. It's more of worrying about physical appearance, worrying about physical health. Like, do you look healthy? Do you look good? Right? So there's a lot of that's going to be healing. Again, this shapeshifter, I guess we didn't really go into it too much, but shapeshifter, transformation. That's the first word. So, she is transforming, we're supposed to see it as kind of, she is transforming into a more primal self, right? Of herself, where it's more, in tune with a wild side, right? Where a lot of signs, well, not a lot of signs, but, it's kind of the opposite of tuning into the inner child. Like I'm not getting any inner child. What I'm getting is, yeah, just your wild side, Capricorn. It's time to really let that loose. And it's going to require a very deep healing. This is actually resonating with me and I'm feeling this very deeply. It's going to require a very deep healing on your part of something that you have viewed as vanity. Fear of not being taken seriously because of how you look physically. Like I can relate to this because I turned 50 in December and, people say, oh, well, you don't look 50. I never believe them because we all say that shit to each other, right? Like you could be talking to somebody who's clearly in her 90s. And when she tells you she's 94, you go, no way. Because we do that to make each other feel better, right? It's like pleasantries and it's really nauseating and it's really annoying. And, I just never believe it because it's false, right? It's a false compliment because it's a knee-jerk kind of automatic response when somebody tells you their age. Like, it's like, we're obligated to make sure we tell her that she doesn't look that old, even though maybe she looks older than that. And so, the healing that's going to take place is going to be a very deep, it's going to be a whole belief system around self-worth tied to physical appearance, right? That's what's going on with you, Capricorn. Next to the green man, we have a 3, sorceress, rituals, power, will. So where he is going to be coming in and helping you take action on something after this healing has come through, right? He's going to come through and help you take action on something that's really going to allow more of your gifts to come in. See how she's just like a lot of these cards, they almost look like they're kind of hiding in the leaves and the foliage, but she's more like kind of emerging from them, right? She's like just become one with her surroundings, with her environment, with her situation. She's undeterred by what's going on around her. She's just like in the leaves and like nothing is bothering her. Okay. So, and it doesn't seem, it's not like it's chaotic around here, but it's like a lot going on. It's like, okay, this may be, okay, maybe she's got like me, maybe she's got 4 kids. Each one of these represents a kid in your face at all times, pulling you in 4 different directions, always needing your attention. She is undeterred of her mission, from her mission. She is very focused and very determined. It's not that she's ignoring these people, but she's putting herself first now. And so it's all, here's work, back here's work. It's always, it's just always, right? And so this is you getting to a place because you're able to take action on something. This is a decision that is being made. You're able to take action on something. You are able to move forward, knowing you did the right thing and not allowing the distractions to doubt yourself. Okay. That's what that is. Okay. We're going to talk about it more. So coming in after this beautiful green witch, which again, remember you had 2 7s in a row, the green man and the green witch, both 7s. This is 30, breaks down to 3, another 3. She who laughs, humor, perspective, mirth. Capricorn, we are known for our dry sense of humor, right? We're funny. We're just really funny. A lot of times, however, it can come through in the form of a self-deprecating kind of humor, right? We're always, I know I did that for years. I don't do it anymore, but I did that for, well, sometimes I hear myself slip into it, but not too often anymore. And I'm going to, and clearly, that healing is coming through anyway, where it won't even come to mind being self-deprecating. But what's coming through is that either self-deprecating or actually like even, in a joking fun, we say, oh, it's with love. It's in a loving way where we make fun of other people, right? Humor is shifting along with everything else. What's funny, what we find funny is shifting because we're going through a period where we're so fucking sensitive right now to everything, right? People aren't finding the playful kind of put downs funny anymore. They're getting offended, they're getting triggered, and they're being forced to heal stuff around their own self-worth when they hear these things, right? And so even this humor is shifting. And 3, the power, you got 2 3s, the power of 3, and the fact that this is sorceress. And guess what? This is your center card. This is your anchor card right in the middle of this grid. So everything is emanating from this beautiful card, sorceress. And, let's not forget this. I am going to figure out how this fits in because it is the overall energy, which I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure what that's doing there. Because I'm not seeing that yet, but I'm not done. Okay. So I love her face too. Like most of these fairies are just very determined, but if you look at like some of them, like this is, a vanity, like her face is kind of, it's not a very confident expression. It's more like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, what am I doing? What do I do next? Where am I going? Like she's trying to exist in this belief system that her self-worth is tied to the way she looks. And she can't exist there anymore. So she's a little lost, okay? And you may be feeling that. And so, this coming through with the humor, I feel like you're going to go through some, and this is into September, okay? This is going to be into September-ish. Everybody's going to be different, right? But what's coming through is that you're going to go through a period where you're going to reevaluate the way and maybe there's a 2 coming through a healing with the vanity, a need to, like I've noticed that I have this kind of need sometimes to make everybody laugh. Now, I don't like being the center of attention. I hate that. But if I am forced to speak, then, and I say that, but I actually love being on stage, but I'm talking about like in a social setting, at a party, at a gathering, at a dinner or whatever. I don't want to be the center of attention. I want to blend in. I want to hide. I want to find the right people to talk to, right? And have an intimate conversation. I don't want to mingle with everybody. I'm not going to be the one hopping from group to group. I don't do that, but I do love to be on stage with the microphone. I love to be in charge in that way. But in a social setting, when people are, you know, in this kind of setting, when everybody wants a piece of me, right? I don't want to shine very bright, but of course we can't help it. But I have this kind of compulsion to, well, if I'm going to say something, it's going to be funny. And so then I don't allow myself to say anything if it's not funny, if I don't think it's funny. There's going to be a lot of reevaluating of our personality constructs, right? Like how much of that is actually me and how much of it is just this personality, this false personality that I've been wearing that I need to make everybody laugh, okay? We don't need to do that anymore. So I'm going to get the third row. We're going to get going with the Magdalene deck. We're going to go back to the Magdalene deck. Guys, I just am not seeing how this Lovers is fitting in. And it's not coming through as divine counterpart. Talk to me. It's definitely a desire. It's more of a desire for this situation, right? It's more of a... All right. I don't know. Let's get this third row going in Capricorn's highest good. I hope I haven't been saying Sagittarius. I don't know what I've been saying. Oh my goodness. So many repeats. Oh, 2 of them are reappearing. Okay. So after the filling in this gap between the deep healing of the belief system and the action, right? The green man of taking action, you've got war and peace. So this came through for somebody else too. I don't remember who, but what is coming through with this is we're healing this cycle. So once you heal this kind of need to, you know, well, not a need. It is a very foundational, which makes sense. Okay. So for shapeshifter, for me, it's like the shapeshifter is saying that you're shifting a huge foundational belief. And that's this belief that your self-worth is tied to your physical appearance or your physical health, or even how pretty you are. Like you can look really physically healthy, right? And maybe you're not appealing to everybody. None of us is, okay? But you have this belief system where, well, if I don't look good to everyone, then I am useless and my voice is small and I don't have anything to contribute because I don't look good. And that's a huge belief system that our society has cultivated for so long that if you're not attractive, then you have nothing to contribute. Then then nobody should listen to you. Then your opinion is null and void, right? Which is ridiculous. And so we're coming in then next into this healing, this cyclical, you know, this obsession with this cycle of war and peace, war and peace, war and peace. And, you know, we even get into times of peace, right? Which, when was the last time that really happened worldwide? Never. And we're like, oh, we're so grateful for these times of peace. And it's almost like, okay, we're grateful for this. We're going to enjoy it while it lasts because we know the war is coming. We don't know from who, between who and who. We don't know where or when, but we know it's coming. Guys, that's a pattern. That's a cycle. That's a hamster wheel. That's a collective cycle we've been trapped in that we're now healing. Okay. I mean, look at all these kind of hippie signs. It's hearts and flowers. And this, okay, look at this cross. Excuse me. I'm going to take a drink what I want you to get from that, because what's coming through is this Christ consciousness, Yeshua, right? In order to derail us from actually becoming what Yeshua came here to teach us that we could become, that we just forgot. They decided to focus and worship the way he died, the way he was murdered, versus the message he had, right? It's so much more about him being crucified than his message of unconditional. Remember what his message was? Unconditional love and compassion. And the churches definitely don't teach that, you know, they definitely don't project that in the way they run their own, you know, dogmatic systems. And so we're going to heal that. We're going to heal that. And we're going to remember that Yeshua came to teach us how to love each other and how to live in harmony with each other, no matter what your neighbor believes, you know, about whatever. It does not matter, you guys. Let me take a drink. So Capricorn, what I'm getting is you're going to be doing your part of the collective puzzle, healing this. You may not feel this very strongly in your own personal energy, and that's fine. You agreed. Everybody's got a piece of it. Everybody's holding onto a rope, okay, that is holding this belief system down. So what I want you to do is visualize you're holding that rope for dear life. You are not going to let that rope go. And then all of a sudden, I want you to go, okay, I think it's time to let this rope go. And you're going to go, let it go. Okay, just let that shit go. So then we come into this green man, this period of intense action. This is a very straightforward and kind of quick reading so far going on, but that's great. And then you've got your anchor card, the sorceress, which is you, powerful, you, undeterred, you, very focused on your mission, no matter what chaos is going on around you. Okay. And again, it's not that you're ignoring these things completely, unless that's in your highest good. If you have kids, obviously you can't just ignore them, but you are taking care of you first. Okay. And that is vital for everybody, but moms more than anyone else. Okay. I'm sorry, not sorry, but that is the truth. Because if you're not a parent, you don't have people 24/7 pulling on you. Okay. If you're a parent, you get what I'm saying. And, you still have to take care of you first. All right. Obviously, using your common sense, you know what I mean? So then coming in after that, after this sorceress and this power of 3 is the Saint Sinner card, which is super interesting because to me, this always comes through as kind of embracing the fact that we are all dark and light and dark, I should say that way. And that, and again, I was talking about the church, right? Teaching us, if you're part of any kind of dogma, all of them teach, most of them, I don't want to say all of them, most of them teach that we're born into this world with sin. I'm telling you, I have never heard anything more stupid and ridiculous than that. I mean, a perfect newborn baby has sin? No. They may have baggage and trauma from past lives, from ancestors. They don't have any sin. You guys, it's ridiculous. Sin implies that we are flawed, that we are broken in some way, and we need a priest or a pastor or a church community or a building to go to fix us. And that's ridiculous. And so there's going to be some other you got a lot of deep foundational stuff coming through, I feel like, because this is coming in. Let's see, it's after the 3. You're going to feel more powerful. And then you're going to basically have the strength and the confidence with this action energy, right? Because these are all in the same row. You're going to have the strength and the confidence to act on healing this within you once and for all. Okay. This belief from possibly a past, growing up in a dogmatic situation, growing up in a religion. Okay. And you still are carrying some of these beliefs. And you're going to be forced to look at them, okay? Because you're going to be able to see even deeper within your own energy. Every time we upgrade, every time we do a deep healing, right? This healing is coming through as a very deep healing. It's going to be, it opens a door. It opens a door. We step through, we see things a lot more clearly, because we've shed this huge, shit in our way, or this huge fur coat, whatever it is. You feel lighter, you've got more clarity, more what's going on. And so I do feel like this is an emotional healing, because we have with these giant tears that are coming out of her eyes, but it's also this is your connection to the infinite wisdom of the cosmos. This is your personal portal. Okay. That is instant access to the infinite knowledge of the universe. Okay, it's right there. So that's lighting up, saying that you are accessing more codes in there. You are cracking open more knowledge, more information, and it's going to bring through an emotional healing that is really going to help. And again, no, I'm definitely seeing personal here. So whereas this is part of a collective thing where we're healing this cycle of war and peace, war and peace, war and peace, in a way, a lot of religions also subscribe to this. Like it's just a natural cycle of life. You know what? It doesn't have to be anymore. And we're done with that, because if you look at this duality coming through for you guys, war and peace, saint, sinner, a lot of duality that's being healed. Okay. A lot of duality that's being healed. And you could even look at these two, since it popped in my head, as kind of two sides of the same coin, right? They're not, we need to let go of the idea that it's us versus them, and that we are one, right? And that we're supposed to work together and we're supposed to come together. Maybe that's what this is. This duality. I mean, maybe this is coming through as kind of a finally marrying the both sides of the coin in your own energy, both sides of the light and the dark, right? And I mean, this is yin and yang, right? Like the masculine is the light and the feminine is the dark. And I know people, oh, what? No, women are, no, we are the dark. We're the void. We create in the darkness, okay? We are the void space that the light penetrates, okay? I mean, if you want me to get a little bit graphic. And so this message, I think it's getting a little clearer what this is talking about. It came through in a weird way, but it's definitely embracing both sides, allowing both sides to embrace each other, allowing both sides to exist within you, and allowing that intimacy between the two, okay? Because you got a lot of duality you've been living within, and it's time to bring them together. It's time to bring them together. So then your last card at the top right corner is this beautiful card, Heart and Soul. And again, it's two ideas, but it's not duality. So what I'm seeing here is, like, if you look at, okay, you've got masculine and feminine, it's duality. I know this is a beautiful picture, but it's still duality. And War and Peace, it's duality. Saint and Sinner, it's duality. And then you get to the end of this time period, the middle of September, and it's Heart and Soul. So that tells me that you're going to do a lot of healing in the duality energy within you. Like, yes, we came here to, just to clarify, yes, we came here to experience the duality of this reality. Duality of this reality. That's a lovely rhyme. But as we become more aware of how we are kind of using it to stand in our own way, we're using it to block our happiness, we're using it to keep from moving forward, we're using it to stay in old patterns. There goes my throat. It is time to shed all of that and to see it for what it really is, and allow the experiences to come in. Like, when we perceive something to be negative, we immediately resist it. But guess what? We are also resisting positive experiences. You can't be in resistance of what, I always say, when you shut yourself off to feeling the lowest of the low emotions, you are also shutting yourself off from feeling the highest of the high, because that's just how it works. It's the same thing. It's just two sides of the same coin, right? So if you're shutting yourself off from the low, then you're shutting yourself off from the high, and you're going to live in this kind of flatline space and never feel true joy. You won't ever feel true sadness or grief either. Congratulations. You will never feel true joy and happiness either. And we don't want that anymore. We were happy. We were good. We were plugging along. We were fine there. Now that we're awakening and becoming more aware, and we are flushing out all the darkness on the planet, we realize we deserve better. And the lowest of the low is not anything to fear. Okay. I was talking about this in another reading yesterday, that Rion de Rouen, who has a YouTube channel called Unite the Collective, does a live every Sunday. And this past Sunday, he was talking about, I urge you to check him out because he's a beautiful, beautiful man. He was talking about how, I totally lost my train of thought. Give me a second. One of those days, you guys. He was talking about, what was he talking about? No fucking idea. No, it's gone. All right, so I guess I'm not supposed to talk about that. It'll come back if it's meant to. Anyway, check him out. Anyway, check out his channel. But, the duality, let's get back to that. This is where we're all going, right? Is living from our heart. The soul, I like to imagine when I want to connect to my soul, yes, it's everywhere and it's me, and it's, I don't have to connect to it really anymore, but I imagine it living in my heart space, right? And that's how and I am kind of getting to a point where I know that I don't have to intentionally connect to my higher self, to my soul, to my highest self, to my own intuition. It's just there. I just know it's there, and I can just start. I don't even have to talk to them, right? I can just, share messages. I know they're receiving because they are me. There goes because I chugged that water. And so, but it was a nice visual that got me to this place where I am now, okay, is imagining my soul living in my heart space. And it really is kind of the same thing. Everything we're doing, like the higher self, the intuition, the cosmos, the universe, our heart chakra, it's all one thing. Okay, the soul, it's all one thing. It's all based in unconditional love and compassion. Okay, unconditional love first and foremost, because that is what we are. There really is nothing else. Nothing else exists but unconditional love. And in fact, the term love, we shouldn't even need to put unconditional in front of it, because conditional love is actually just unconditional love with trauma and baggage piled on top of it. Okay, everybody's got their own stuff. But love is always unconditional. I wish we could kind of stop, but I get it. We need to label these things right now to heal. Because people think, oh, well, you love me conditionally. If it's real love, then it's unconditional no matter what, but it can be real love with a lot of crap on top of it. And so we don't know how to act in those situations. But this is a beautiful card to end, the reading. And I am going to pull a couple more yet. I'm going to do a final message, and then I'm going to do a message from the cosmos, because I still need a little more clarity. I feel like I did kind of tie this in somehow. I see why it came through. I feel like it's like mirroring this card, the heart and soul, right? Because it is it's our energy no longer in conflict. So the duality, here's what I want you to take from this, is that the duality that we're trying to heal, like, yes, we want to experience, we're still experiencing duality. We're not done doing that. But the duality that I want you to heal is the duality that has kept that war going inside your own energy. Okay? Because then when you can heal that, then you are cultivating a very intimate relationship with yourself, and you're really getting to know yourself. And then you're really coming into your own power. Like this, okay, that's that. I mean, this alone is, well, no, it's this anchor card, right? This is you in your power. Everything else is emanating from this. And you've got, if you go diagonal, you've got the shapeshifter, the sorceress, and then up to heart and soul. If you go this way, you've got the war and peace duality being healed, and then the sorceress, and then the green witch, which is giving you even more power, because this is talking about your new path coming through. Okay, so it's a 7, but the words on here also say fresh new spring. So, and the fact that her skin is so pale, that always comes through to me as just a purity, a pure energy coming through, a shedding of junk so that you can shine brighter. Okay. And again, like I said, the redhead comes through as just power, tuning into your own power in a good way, in a positive way. But it's also the little tiny words also are speaking to a brand new direction, like this deep healing you're going to be doing, and this collective, the War and Peace collective, and this kind of allowing your two sides to exist together in harmony without the conflict, the constant conflict, is really launching you into this new path. Okay. Now, we're never off our path, but sometimes our paths, we can't see very far ahead, and they veer one direction or the other, and it takes us by surprise, right? This is going to be more of a you deciding to go a different direction. Okay. You're going to be like, okay. And I think I did say that this is about decisions, right? This was about a decision. One of these cards was about a decision that you're going to make that is going to launch you into a new direction, and it's going to be amazing. Okay, Cap? Because then after that comes the, another 3, she who laughs, is that deep, is that new perspective, really is what, and it does say perspective right there. So it's that new coming, with this new path, it's a brand new perspective on who you are. And maybe you'll even tune into more of a natural, more of a comfortable comedian, right? Because we're funny, right? But a comfortable, you'll be so comfortable in your own energy, in your own skin, that you won't even be thinking about making people laugh, but you'll be doing it anyway. And you'll be just spreading your joy. Okay. And that's a beautiful message. And then we come to this, the final card. Like if you, these are kind of the anchor points, these are kind of, these are the parameters of this reading, right? Is this kind of intimacy within, that is you allowing the two sides to exist together. I keep saying that because that is the best way to say it. And then you've got this transformation, right? This transformation going on that is coming, because that's leading you into this deep, deep healing of that belief system, okay? That you've held on for too long, okay? You've held on for too long. A lot of it isn't even yours. It's something that is passed down. We tend to think, and in my age group too, I was raised to believe that, self-made millionaires, just, 1 in a billion people can do that. And when you're born into a middle-class, hardworking family with a lot of kids, you're made to believe that, we were told so many times in school and just from every adult in our lives, right, that you be smart about what you pursue in your life, because you want to make sure that you make a good living, right? What does that mean? That means school, work, die. That's what make a good living means to me. And, I just knew at a young age that I did not want that, but I fell into that belief system because it was somebody else's. It was somebody else's, and I hadn't formulated my own yet. I didn't know what else I would do. And so I tried to have, and, a lot of times we call it fallback. Like I knew what I wanted to do. I knew who I wanted to be, but I was not allowed to be that because it wasn't something that you could graduate from college and immediately go and get a job and make a living from. Okay. Right. We had to be smart about it. We had to be sensible. Right. And so, this new living from the heart, connecting to the soul in the heart space and living from the heart and following our heart is going to completely shift that. Like this is a whole new perspective, remember? Whole new perspective. And it's going to be really lighthearted. It's going to be, Capricorn too, you're going to, that dry sense of humor, I feel like is just going to lighten up a lot. And you're going to be able to walk into a room and just make the whole energy of the room lighter. Okay. And just more like it's mirth, more mirthful, if that's a word. I don't even know. So yeah, let me pull a final, I hope any of this is making sense. It's a little, it's almost like the cards are like really making me work for the message. But it's coming through. Like I don't force anything. I do just allow that story to unfold. It's not always, A to B. It's not always the shortest distance between A and B. Sometimes it's a little bit of a detour like this. Sometimes it's a maze, and that's okay. Let's get a final message from Capricorn's guides from their teams. Let's get one final message, just a nice wrap up to this reading that can help us understand it a little better in Capricorn's highest good, please. Yeah. Oh, revelation. I'm going to say no to that. Co-create, no. Oh, for the love of God. None of these are working. It's a very weird, Capricorn, I feel like you're also working on a lot of trust, because I am all of a sudden not trusting myself to pull the right card. And, I'm tuned into your energy right now, Cap. Come on. Yeah. You're having a lot of trouble trusting that everything is going to be okay. And I get that. There's a lot going on, but it's more, I feel like it's more your own personal stuff versus like you can look out in the world and sometimes you get pulled into the fear, but it's not necessarily like, oh, I'm so afraid of that we're going down this dark path as a humanity. I don't even feel like you're going there. Like you don't even really exist in that realm. So you do have that kind of overall trust that everything's going to be okay. But it's like you don't trust yourself, which is interesting because, usually we have to trust ourselves first in order to trust. It's almost like the outside world you just can't even go there right now because there's so much going on for you personally, and you don't trust yourself to make the right decisions. You don't trust yourself. So guess what? It's worse to never make a decision than it is to make what you would consider a bad decision or a wrong decision. It's worse to never make a decision and to just stay there and keep yourself stuck, weighing all the pros and cons and overthinking and, make a fucking decision. Because at this point, they're both going to get you there. Okay, I promise. One may be a little bit more of a longer path, but that's okay. You're going to choose the one that you need to choose, but you've got to choose. Okay, you can't just stand there not choosing. It's much worse than choosing a harder path. If you choose the harder path inadvertently, then something in you needed that, right? And you can look into why, or you can just go with it. Like, sometimes we'll say, oh, well, we just felt like we needed to be punished. I feel like it's more like I needed that healing. I needed to go the long way to pick up that healing and to really come out the other side, more in my true power and in my heart and soul. All right, I'm going to try one more time. If this isn't, I trust myself. I trust the universe to give us a beautiful final message from your guides, Capricorn. I'm just going to go with it. Okay, so the universe is a cunt, as my friend John would say. You got confusion, Capricorn. That's definitely what's affecting me here doing your reading, because I have really had to try to just be laser focused on what's coming through, because there's a lot of stuff over here. And this is your monkey mind. Remember we talked about Capricorn, where I get it. We have a lot of trouble shutting down our mental energy body. It's creating a lot of confusion, and it's only delaying this beautiful life that is waiting for you right around the corner. Okay. And so you're going to be healing this coming in as this is interesting, because it's like, what is the universe trying to tell us here? This could be you definitely the messages I've already said about this. Look at me just being really handsy on this card. I'm not going to discount the things I've already said about this card, but I do want to say too, now that this has come out, that a lot of your energy is you're too hyper focused on a relationship, and it is causing you to not have clarity in the other areas of your life. Okay. So, we're being asked in a big way to really let go of everything. That is really, really hard. It's really, really hard to fathom. It's even harder to actually do. But guess what? You've got this beautiful, yes, this is your only masculine card, but by God, he's a powerful one, and he's going to bring action, and he's going to help you make the decision, because then you got the 2 7s. You've got really strong guides coming through too, with guidance. It's going to feel like it's going to come through, though, your own intuition. It's not coming in the form of like, oh, well, the Archangel Michael gave me this beautiful message. No, and you're going to be like, it just came into my head, and I knew that was the right way to go. And so both of these cards are very powerful guidance coming through to help you make this decision. Okay. Don't discount it. It's going to be, because I feel like you're afraid of what you're being asked to do. And that's causing so much confusion in your life right now, about everything. And so letting go, and yes, I'm very aware of what I'm saying, and I'm talking to one person in particular, and he knows who he is. This is what's coming through. I don't think about myself or personally other people that I know with these signs. When I'm doing the readings, I just let what's coming through come through. There's some letting go that needs to happen, and this process coming through, the fact that it didn't have anything to do with a divine counterpart, or even relationships in that matter, for that matter, it tells me that the overall energy is you letting go of a very strong relationship. Okay. And that doesn't mean here's the thing. When we say letting go, it doesn't mean the relationship is instantly and automatically over. What it means is you're giving each other total freedom to be who they need to be, to do what they need to do, to live the way they need to live. You're just giving each other complete and total freedom. Okay. No expectations. And I know this is hard to hear, because this is a personal thing for me too. And so, it's not, and Capricorn, both of you are sucking at the letting go right now. Both of you are. Okay. It's not just you. I promise. You may think the other person has already left the building, right? But it's not true. It's not true. It's not the case. Neither one of you wants to let go, and both of you have got to, or something is going to happen that is going to rip, it's going to force you to let go. And that makes the future even more confusing, even more uncertain. Okay. Again, this is all unwinding exactly the way it needs to. But anyway, what I was going to say, actually, the letting go. So this is all going to be about a letting go of the relationships so that you can focus on these other things, so that you can, and they may seem, I feel like you think, oh, but those are such small things, and they're not. They're enormous for your own growth. Okay. This healing, this deep healing on, a deep belief system. It doesn't have to be the specific one I said, right? About self-worth being tied to how you look. It's self-worth is what the healing is. It breaks down to self-worth. That is a core wound for you, is this lack of self-worth. Look at what's behind that, and keep looking at and confront it and heal it and love it and let it go. And then look what's behind that. And you're going to get to the core of this, why you don't have any self-worth. Okay. It's not as simple as, well, so no one, other people have never valued me. That's not the core wound. That's the result of it. Okay. Because that's the energy you invited in. That's the energy you allowed people. We teach people how to treat us based on our energy, based on what we allow, based on how we respond. We teach them how to treat us. And so if you have never been treated as though you were worth anything, it's because you don't treat yourself that way, like you're worth anything. Okay. So all of this stuff is huge. And so it's what I feel like is this is like, stop putting so much focus on this, because this is going to happen or it's not. But this is not the point of this journey. It's just not. It's just not. And we have lived our lives for generations and generations and centuries thinking that finding that partner, that life partner, was the be all end all. Much more important than finding your soul purpose, right? Because how many movies, talk about one of the people in a partnership? In every single movie and TV show I've ever seen, they always are, at least one of them is always asked to sacrifice something in order to make the partnership work, the relationship work. We've got to get out of that pattern. We've got to break free of that pattern. It's time for everybody to get to follow their heart. Everybody gets to live their soul purpose. Everybody. Okay, not just one person in a partnership, in a relationship. All right, so I don't know if I've said enough about that, but it's time to let go. It's time to let go, or you're going to be made to let go, and it's going to hurt. And that's why you're so confused right now, is you so want to focus on this relationship, and you want to lean on it, and you want it to be a foundation for you. And because of everything that's going on for everybody, it just cannot be that right now. You have to find your own personal foundation. Someone else or your connection with someone else cannot fulfill that foundational need right now. And it shouldn't. We all have to have our own foundations. We all have to have our own energy. We have to be sovereign in our own energy. We can't rely on a partnership to carry us through. Okay, that's kind of the confusion. Yeah. This does not mean that you're still going to be confused at the end of this. I think this was just trying to help me clarify this one. And so this is you now, right? You're so confused because you want this to be something that it's just not right now. And that's all you can think about. And so you're ignoring all these other things going on in your own energy. And you need to surrender. You need to let go of, well, just let go of everything, like right now. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Anyway, oh my God, I'm so sorry, you guys. It's so long. After about 20 minutes and I had the grid done and I'm like, well, this is going to be a short one. So I'm going to use this beautiful deck made by my soul sister and friend, Anthea Spark. The link to purchase it is in the description box below. It is a beautiful, very simple deck with very simple, beautiful messages. It feels like recycled cardboard. I'm not positive that it is, but it feels like it and it's amazing. It's a very raw, natural deck. And I love it. And so I'm going to pull a final message from the cosmos for you, Capricorn, because I love you so much, because I have been a Capricorn since birth. Even though now I'm not so sure that I am, I still do resonate with a lot of the Capricorn messages. And so, you know, we're in transition. We're in a transitional phase. So let's get a final message for Capricorn and their highest good from the cosmos, please. Let's just get that beautiful message. My heart is healing. Yeah, this is not anything to do with a romantic partner. I want to clarify that. This is to do with getting away from the belief that we cannot be whole without a romantic partner. Your heart is healing, okay? I promise. And that also speaks to forward movement. You're doing it. You're doing it. This is going to happen. Okay. They just needed you to be aware of what's going on. I don't know which direction. They needed you to be aware that you're spending too much of your thinking time on this and not enough on this, which is who you are becoming, right? It's actually who you are. You know, we say we're becoming, but we're actually just uncovering and remembering that this is who we've always been. Is this amazing person who will not be deterred from their mission. Okay, this is men and women. Okay, I know it's a very feminine, but this is, I don't care what package you are, what energy you embody. This is you, king, queen, sorcerer, sorceress. This is you in your power, knowing exactly who you are and where you're going. Okay, and this was the anchor, the center of your grid. So, okay, I'm going to call it. I hope I didn't confuse you even more because you got this confused. I thought that was so funny when that came out because then it all came together. And just know that the confusion is clearing. Okay, making this decision, wherever that was, I feel like it was here. Making this big decision. I don't remember where it was, you guys, to be honest. But making a big decision is really going to launch you onto a new path. But all of this is facilitating you, letting go of expectations from other people. Everybody's got their own shit. Everybody's got their dreams. Everybody's got their own missions and soul purposes, right? And we all have to answer the call now. We just have to. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice in the matter anymore. Because again, the universe is done with our shit. It's done with us dragging our feet and hemming and hawing. And it's going to start forcing things, okay? It's going to start ripping things away from us. And it's just going to hurt more. And we have the ability to let it go. So that's all I want to say. Okay, I'm going to shut up now because I've made this long enough. Thank you so much for being here, Capricorn. I hope this helps. Please watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus to get a full picture. This isn't the whole story for you. And not all of it maybe resonated with you either, and that's fine. Take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't try to force it to fit. Okay, don't try to force that square peg into a round hole. Share, like, subscribe if you haven't already, but please share, share these messages with other people because I feel like a lot of people are in so much fear and a little guidance and direction makes a huge difference. These readings are not intended to increase fear. They're not intended to bring fear. They're intended to give you the tools and the information you need to navigate the energies. And so that you kind of know what's coming. And, in a lot of ways, you're like, okay, I already knew this, right? It's confirmation. And you You know that you have everything you need. It gives you confidence, I think, to really face the energies coming, knowing that you don't have to suffer and struggle through them anymore. We're done doing that. We're done doing that. We've got too many tools to ride the waves, okay? And not even to ride the waves, but to walk on that water effortlessly, okay? No matter how choppy it is, okay? We got this. You got this, Capricorn. All right. I love you guys, and I will see you next month.